What's up, Weekend Warrior Fitness community? Today, I want to talk about some of the most common aches and pains that I hear while people are training on the floor and what you can do to modify those exercises on your own so that you can continue to perform the workout as designed. All right, guys, so the first one I want to discuss today is the overhead press. Okay, there's two variations of it. Ready? The elbow out wide or the elbow in. And if you press up and you're feeling kind of crunchy, you're getting a little bit of a pinching pain in your shoulder, I want you to use this modification. All right, guys, so anytime that you are encountering a crunching or a sharp pain or maybe even a dull pain in your shoulder when you're doing an overhead press, we're going to use the modification to a landmine press. It's going to go from a horizontal to vertical position. It's much more shoulder friendly. You can set up a couple different ways in the landmine setup here. So you can have both feet together, or you can go into a split stance. So the side that you are pressing the bar with is going to go back. And I even encourage you guys to go, when you press forward, to a slight lean. So we're going to do that slight lean here forward, aiming to get the arm aligned with the ears. So we'll stretch out through that shoulder joint, and hopefully after doing this, it will help with the overhead press. But this would be the modification for the overhead press if you are encountering some pain or discomfort with that. So the second exercise that I hear most frequently with people in pain or discomfort or even just some crunchiness is the lunge pattern. All right, some sort of single leg variation, whether it's a walking lunge, whether it's a reverse lunge, a split squat, something to that, a box step up. People, it may be from the amount of volume, or it may be just the workout or general tightness. Most of the time it's not structural, but I'm not a doctor. So if it is, go get checked out by a PT. But the modification that I would use for the lunge pattern is next. So first modification I would do for the lunge pattern, if it's available, is a sled. I would have you get on the sled, whether in a rack position where your hands are closer to your shoulders or in a fully extended position with your arms. Either or is fine. It's based off of general comfort. The sled push, we're actually going to take the eccentric or the lowering phase out of the lunge pattern and just do the concentric or pushing phase. So it looks like this. The other modification I would do for a lunge is an isometric hold, okay? So you grab some dumbbells. All right, from there, we step out slightly, and we're gonna have one leg up. From there, I want you to sink down into your hip, and then also come over top, bending your knee. We wanna keep the shin in a vertical position here, and you'll just hold this 20 to 30 seconds. Switch sides, same thing on the other side. So we limit the range of motion here, or the knee flexion, on this particular modification. Lastly, let's talk about the squat and having some back issues or back discomfort with that movement pattern. Generally what happens is, whether it's loaded in a goblet position here, or even an air squat. So if you're doing an air squat, what happens is people will start to come forward here, potentially from lack of range of motion through the hips, or maybe even through your ankles. Either way, they start to come here, and then they go into pressing up and then straightening themselves up. It could even be lack of core strength to be able to keep the torso in a vertical position. But either way, you start to see them come into this position and use their back. So if that is a frequent problem, use this modification. All right, so let's talk about the modification for some back pain or discomfort as you're doing the squat pattern. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is grab a foam roller here. You can also use a physio ball or an exercise ball. But we're gonna take the foam roller and I want you to place that right at the top of your butt here, all right? So as you start to lower yourself down, the roller is going to roll up to about mid-back level versus starting a little bit higher on your back, and then you end up with it on your neck. So from that position, we're going to move the feet out slightly away from the wall so you're leaning back into the wall there with your weight, okay? From there, let's get the feet in your typical squat position. All right, whatever feels comfortable for your hips here. Mine, I generally like a little bit wider than my shoulders, toes slightly pointed out so I remind myself to track the knees on the outward trajectory. From there, we're gonna lower down. As we lower down, the roller is then gonna roll up. It's going to allow us to keep the stability of keeping that chest and torso in a vertical position as I lower. So you're coming down under control and right back up, all right? So the wall is gonna provide the stability so we're not in that bent over position there, potentially wreaking some havoc on the back. Now, if you guys would like to add some load to that, you can grab a kettlebell and weight it up in a goblet position. You can use kettlebells or dumbbells in a suitcase position here. You can even use it in a racked position as you do your squats. Nice and pain-free with the back. All right, guys, so provided you guys with some modifications that you can implement on your own. Okay, I hope that was helpful and a good resource to you. If you are dealing with some sort of chronic pain or issue, it is not because you are older, okay? Please get that checked out by a licensed professional, physical therapist, doctor, all right? Don't come to me asking for advice or a diagnosis as far as what the pain is. I am not a doctor. I will keep it to the scope of practice of helping you guys build a healthy and active lifestyle. Thank you very much.